Hello, my name is Nina. I live in Moscow, Russia. Moscow is a big and beautiful city. It is the capital of Russia and has many famous places. It is full of history, culture, and excitement. Every day in Moscow is an adventure, and I am excited to share my life with you. I live in a small apartment with my family. My family is important to me. There are 4 people in my family: my mom, my dad, my brother, and me. We love spending time together. My mom is a teacher. She teaches math at a nearby school. My dad is an engineer. He works for a big company in the city center. My brother is younger than me. He is 8 years old and loves to play soccer. Our apartment is cozy and filled with love. We have a small balcony where my mom grows flowers and herbs. It is a lovely place to sit and relax. Every morning I wake up early. I have breakfast with my family. We usually eat bread, cheese, and fruit. Sometimes my mom makes pancakes. After breakfast, I get ready for school. My school is not far from our apartment, so I walk there. On the way, I see many people. Some are going to work, and some are going to school like me. I love walking to school because I can see the city waking up. The streets are busy with people and cars, and the sounds of the city fill the air. At school, I learn many subjects. My favorite subjects are English and art. Learning English is fun. It helps me talk to people from other countries. In English class, we read stories, learn new words, and practice speaking. In art class, we draw, paint, and make crafts. I love being creative by using different colors. We also learn math, science, history, and geography. Our teachers are kind and help us learn new things every day. Our school has many activities. I am also a member of the art club and the English club. In the art club, we make beautiful paintings and crafts. We also have exhibitions where we show our work to everyone. In the English club, we practice speaking English and play fun games. Sometimes, we have movie nights where we watch English movies with subtitles. It is a great way to improve our language skills. After school, I like to visit the park near my home. The park is vast, with many trees and flowers. I enjoy playing with my friends there. We play games, ride our bikes, and sometimes have picnics. There is a playground in the park. It has swings, slides, and a sandbox. We have so much fun there. Sometimes my family also comes to the park. We walk around, have ice cream, and watch the birds. There is a small lake in the park where we can rent boats and paddle here and there. It is very peaceful and relaxing. Moscow has many famous places to visit. One of my favorite places is the Red Square. It is big and has many beautiful buildings. The most famous building in the Red Square is St. Basil's Cathedral. It has colorful domes and looks like a fairy tale castle. Near the Red Square, there is the Kremlin. The Kremlin is an enormous old fortress where the President of Russia works. It has high walls and tall towers. Inside the Kremlin, there are many museums and churches. One of the most famous museums is the Armory Chamber, which has a collection of royal treasures and ancient weapons. In Moscow, there are many museums and theaters. I love going to the Bolshoi Theater with my family. The Bolshoi Theater is famous for ballet and opera. Watching a ballet show is magical. The dancers are very graceful and tell stories with their movements. One of my favorite ballets is The Nutcracker. It is a Christmas story with beautiful music and dancing. We also visit other theaters like the Mali Theater and the Moscow Art Theater. They have remarkable plays and performances. The Moscow Metro is also exciting. The metro stations are like art galleries. They have beautiful decorations, paintings, and sculptures. Riding the metro is an adventure because it is so big and busy. There are many lines and stations. Some stations are intricate underground. My favorite station is Komsomolskaya. It has golden chandeliers and marble columns. It looks like a palace. Another beautiful station is Mayakovskaya, which has stunning mosaics and Art Deco designs. In winter, Moscow is very cold and snowy. I love winter because I can play in the snow. My friends and I build snowmen, have snowball fights, and go ice skating. Moscow has many ice rinks where we can skate and have fun. There is a massive ice rink in Gorky Park. It is famous and many people go there. The snow covers the trees and buildings in the winter, and it looks like a winter wonderland. We also celebrate New Year and Christmas in winter. Lights illuminate the city, and many festive events take place. Spring in Moscow is beautiful. The snow melts and the flowers start to bloom. The parks and gardens are full of colorful flowers. My family and I like to go for walks and enjoy the fresh air. In spring, we celebrate Easter. We paint eggs and have a special Easter meal with our family. There are also many spring festivals with music, dancing, and food. In summer, the weather is warm and sunny. We often go to the countryside to visit my grandparents. They live in a small village outside of Moscow. My grandparents have a big garden with vegetables, fruits, and flowers. We help them with gardening and enjoy the fresh homegrown food. In summer, we also go to the beach. There are many lakes and rivers near Moscow where we can swim and have fun. We have barbecues and enjoy spending time outdoors. Autumn in Moscow is also lovely. The leaves on the trees change colors and fall to the ground. The city resembles a painting with red, yellow, and orange leaves. In the fall, we celebrate the Harvest Festival. There are many events and people bring fruits and vegetables to share. We also have a holiday called the Day of Knowledge on September 1st. It is the first day of school and we celebrate with flowers and special events. Moscow is a city of life and history. There is always something to see and do. I love living in Moscow because it is my home and I have many happy memories here. The people are friendly and there is a strong sense of community. We have many neighbors who are like family to us. We often visit each other and celebrate holidays together. One of the things I love about Moscow is the food. Russian cuisine is delicious and varied. My favorite dishes include borscht, which is a beet soup, pelmeni, which are dumplings, and blini, which are thin pancakes. We also have many tasty desserts like honey cake and apple pie. There are many restaurants and cafes in Moscow where we can try different kinds of food. My family and I love going out to eat and trying new dishes. Another fascinating aspect of life in Moscow is the festivals and events. There are many festivals for art, music, and culture throughout the year. One of the biggest festivals is the Moscow International Film Festival, where we can watch movies from any country. There is also the Moscow Flower Show, where beautiful flower arrangements and gardens are displayed. There are many outdoor concerts and performances in the parks during the summer. Moscow is also known for its shopping. There are many shopping centers and markets where we can buy clothes, shoes, and other items. One of the most famous shopping streets is Arbat Street. It is a pedestrian street with many shops, cafes, and street performers. We also have big shopping malls like GUM and TSUM. These malls have many high-end stores and restaurants. Education is vital in Moscow. There are many good schools and universities. Some of the best universities in Russia exist in Moscow, like Moscow State University and the Higher School of Economics. Many students come to Moscow from other parts of Russia and other countries to study. Education here is very high quality and there are many opportunities for students. Moscow is also a city of sports. There are many sports facilities and clubs where we can play different sports. Soccer is very popular in Moscow. There are many soccer teams and stadiums. One of the biggest stadiums is Luzhniki Stadium, which hosts many important matches and events. We also have many gyms and fitness centers where people can exercise and stay healthy. Public transportation in Moscow is impressive. Besides the metro, we have buses, trams, and trolleybuses. It is easy to get around the city using public transportation. We also have a bike-sharing system. Many people use bikes to get around, especially in the summer. Moscow is a city full of opportunities and possibilities. There is always something new to learn and experience. I love living in Moscow because it is my home. It has shaped me into who I am. The city is continuously changing and growing, and I am proud to be a part of it. Moscow is a cultural hub with a rich history. The city is known for its art, music, literature, and theater. The Tretiakov Gallery is one of the most famous art museums in Moscow. It has an extensive collection of Russian art, including works by famous painters like Ivan Aivazovsky, Ilya Repin, and Kazimir Malevich. Another important cultural institution is the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts, which has a vast collection of European art. Music is also a crucial part of Moscow's culture. The city has many concert halls to listen to classical, jazz, and contemporary music. One of the most famous concert halls is the Moscow Conservatory, which hosts performances by world-renowned musicians. The Tchaikovsky Concert Hall is another popular venue for classical music lovers. Literature has a special place in Moscow's cultural landscape. The city has many libraries and literary museums. The government has dedicated the State Literary Museum to the history of Russian literature. It has exhibits on famous Russian writers like Alexander Pushkin, Leo Tolstoy, and Fyodor Dostoevsky. Moscow is also home to many bookstores and literary cafes where people can read and discuss books. Moscow is a city that loves to celebrate. There are many festivals throughout the year, each with its unique charm. One of the most colorful festivals is Maslenitsa, also called Butter Week. It is a traditional Russian festival that marks the end of winter and the beginning of spring. During Maslenitsa, people make and eat blini, which are thin pancakes. You can also enjoy many outdoor activities like sledding, ice skating, and bonfires. Victory Day is another important festival in Moscow. It is celebrated on May 9th to commemorate the victory of the Soviet Union over Nazi Germany in World War II. There are parades, concerts, and fireworks all over the city. The main event is the military parade on Red Square. In this parade, soldiers march and tanks roll through the streets. It is a day of pride and remembrance for the people of Moscow. In the summer, we celebrate Moscow City Day on the first weekend of September. It is a big event with concerts, fireworks, and cultural performances. The city comes alive with music, dance, and festivities. People gather in the parks, streets, and squares to celebrate the city's birthday. Holidays are special times in Moscow filled with traditions and family gatherings. One of the most important holidays is New Year. We celebrate it on the night of December 31st. People decorate their homes with lights and ornaments. We have a big New Year tree in Red Square. Festive lights illuminate the city. Families gather for a special dinner, and at midnight, they watch fireworks and exchange gifts. It is a time of joy and celebration. Christmas is another important holiday celebrated on January 7th. According to the Orthodox calendar, it is a religious holiday, and many people visit the church for a unique Christmas service. Families also have a festive meal with traditional dishes like kudya, which is a sweet grain pudding, and roasted meats. Christmas is a time for family reflection and giving thanks. Easter is a big holiday in Moscow. We celebrate it with special church services, feasts, and the exchange of decorated eggs. One of the traditions is to bake kulych, a sweet bread, and to make paska, a dessert made from cheese. People greet each other with "Christ is risen," and the response is "Oh, indeed. He is risen." It is a joyful and spiritual time. Moscow is rich in centuries-old traditions. One of the traditions is the Russian banya or bathhouse. It is a place where people go to relax and cleanse their bodies. The banya experience includes sitting in a hot steam room followed by a plunge into cold water. It is believed to have many health benefits and is a cherished tradition for many families. Another tradition is the celebration of name days. In Russia, each day of the year is associated with a saint. People celebrate their name day on the feast day of the saint. It is similar to a birthday with family gatherings, special meals, and gifts. Tea drinking is a famous tradition in Moscow. Russians love their tea and often serve it with sweets and pastries. One of the customs is to use a samovar, a traditional Russian tea kettle, to boil water and brew tea. Tea time is a moment to relax and enjoy the company of family and friends. Living in Moscow, I have had many captivating experiences. One of my favorite experiences was visiting the Moscow Zoo. As one of the oldest zoos in Russia, it houses a wide variety of animals from around the world. I loved seeing the tigers, elephants, and monkeys. There is also a beautiful aquarium with colorful fish and sea creatures. It was a day filled with fun and learning. Another memorable experience was going to the Moscow Circus. The circus in Moscow is famous for its remarkable performances. There are acrobats, clowns, and animal acts. I remember being mesmerized by the trapeze artists flying through the air and the trained animals performing tricks. It was a magical and unforgettable experience. One winter, my family and I went to the Ice Sculpture Festival in Sokolniki Park. The park transformed into a winter wonderland with beautiful ice sculptures. There were ice slides, ice castles, and even ice mazes. We spent the whole day admiring the sculptures and playing in the snow. It was a magical experience that I will never forget. Moscow is a city full of surprises. One day, while walking in the park, I met a group of street musicians. They played traditional Russian folk music with instruments like the balalaika and accordion. Their music was lively and joyful. Soon, a crowd gathered to listen and dance. It was a delightful and unexpected encounter that made my day special. Another surprising encounter happened in the metro. I was going to school when I saw a man reading an English book. I was curious and struck up a conversation with him. It turned out he was a tourist from England visiting Moscow for the first time. We talked about our favorite books and places to visit in Moscow. It was a wonderful experience to meet someone from another country and share our love for reading. One evening, while walking home, I saw a beautiful fireworks display. It was not a holiday, so it was unexpected. The bright colors and patterns filled the sky. I later found out it was a rehearsal for a big event. It was a surprising and magical moment that filled me with joy and wonder. Moscow is a city of contrasts. In the winter, the blanket of snow covers the city. The trees are frosted and the rooftops are white. The air is crisp and cold, and you can see your breath. Twinkling lights decorate the streets, creating a festive atmosphere. The sound of carolers singing and the smell of roasted chestnuts fill the air. In the spring, the city comes to life. The snow melts and the flowers start to bloom. The parks have colorful tulips and daffodils. The air is fresh and filled with the scent of flowers. People come out to enjoy the warm weather, and the streets are bustling with activity. The sound of birds singing and the sight of children playing in the park bring a sense of joy and renewal. In the summer, the city is vibrant and lively. The sun shines brightly and the days are long. The parks are green and lush. People gather for picnics and outdoor concerts. The air is warm and laughter and music fill the streets. The riverbanks have people enjoying the sunshine and the outdoor cafes are bustling with customers. In the fall, the city is painted red, yellow, and orange. The leaves on the trees change color and fall to the ground. The air is cool and crisp, giving a sense of calm and reflection. Fallen leaves fill the parks, and the streets are lined with people enjoying the beautiful season. The sound of leaves crunching underfoot and the sight of children jumping in piles of leaves bring a sense of nostalgia and warmth. Living in Moscow has taught me many valuable lessons. It has taught me the importance of family, tradition, and community. It has taught me to appreciate the beauty of nature and the joy of simple pleasures. It has taught me to embrace diversity and to be open to new experiences. One of the most emotional moments in my life was when I visited Victory Park with my family. Victory Park is a memorial to the soldiers who fought in World War II. It is a place of remembrance and reflection. The park has many monuments and memorials, including the Museum of the Great Patriotic War. Walking through the park, I felt a deep sense of gratitude and respect for the sacrifices made by the soldiers. It was a moving experience that filled me with pride and humility. Another emotional experience was when my family and I visited the Tretiakov Gallery. Seeing the beautiful paintings and learning about the history of Russian art was inspiring. I felt a deep connection to my culture and heritage. It was a moment of pride and appreciation for the rich artistic traditions of my country. My family and I once went to Red Square to celebrate New Year's Eve. A crowd gathered at the square, and the atmosphere was electric. As the clock struck midnight, fireworks lit up the sky, and everyone cheered. I felt a sense of joy and excitement, surrounded by my family and the festive crowd. It was a magical moment that I will always cherish. Moscow is a place to cherish traditions and embrace new experiences. Living in Moscow has given me many cherished memories. I am proud to call this city my home, and I look forward to many more adventures in the future. Thank you for listening to my story about my life in Moscow. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about my city. Moscow is a great place to live. I hope you will visit Moscow one day and experience its beauty and excitement. Have a good rest of the day.